All right, guys, it's Bill from Linden, Tennessee. This is kind of an update video from my previous video where I was all upset about this mower deck and my mule drive and my little quiet line. Well, with the mule drive and this deck on there, if you hadn't watched the video, if you have, here's a recap. I'd go ahead and turn that little knob there that would slowly speed up the motor to get the motor kind of up to speed, and then flip the PTO switch to get it up to operating speed. But I noticed that when I was turning the knob, my amperage would get up into the high teens and even into 20. Probably would have gone further if I let it. So I went ahead and flipped the PTO switch to send full power to the motor. When I did that, I was seeing like 50 and 60 amps, and which is about twice as high as my other pull behind deck. And you know what? I'm gonna go get that. Hold on. Okay. Yeah, so this was pulling 60 amps, and normally this pulls considerably less, but now I've got kind of a literal side by side. I'm gonna go ahead and connect it back up to this one and shoot a little video of it speeding up and coming up to speed, and then I'll do the same to that one, and we'll kind of see what happens. I really need to clean up all this crap off the floor. All right, got it hooked up to the back of the PTO there. Go ahead and jump on. I got it on amps. It pulls a half amp just having the contact. Actually, let's do something. I'll turn the main contactor off. So now this is just, all right, so this is just the DC-DC converter that's taking the 56 volts and changing it to 12 volts. That's on right now. All right, so go ahead and ramp the motor up. When it gets up to about 20, I'm going to go ahead and flip this switch down here, and you can see and hear what's going on. So it initially went up to like 60 or so, and then it slowly started coming down. Now what I notice is this, just for that short time, this pulley is getting hot. So there's quite a bit of slippage going on here. All right, let's go ahead and put this motor over there and show you how that reacts. All right, same story as before. The motor's now hooked up to this one. One thing I kind of notice is this pulley, that pulley is bigger than that one. That might have a big effect. And also where the belt sits inside of the pulley is different. So that might have something to do with it. But anyway, let's see how this one works. Again, gonna turn the knob up. And then once it gets up to speed, then I'll go ahead and flip the switch. But you'll notice that it doesn't get up that high on this one. Yeah, so initially it did spike up to about 60, but that's kind of expected. It's putting a huge rush of current into the motor. If I didn't have that slow start thing, that huge rush of current would be like 300, just breaking that initial inertia. Anyway, but you can see it clearly goes down to like 20 or 30 amps, whereas this one stays up in the 50s. Now that might have something to do with this pulley being of a different size, because that's a smaller pulley on the motor, so it's a reduction underdriving that pulley there, whereas on this one it's kind of a 1-to-1. So that's a little bit interesting. But the most interesting part is, I think, that the mule drive pulled the same amperage as this does just sitting here on the floor. meaning that all hope is not lost for that thing. Now, what do I do about it? How do I fix maybe it's the bearings that are too tight. So I'll get this cover off, and I'll just kind of, just turn the bearings by hand to see what I can feel. But I don't know if there's a way to adjust them. It's a pair of tapered roller bearings, and there's a little spacer in between them. So as far as I knew, that spacer is between them so that they can't be over tightened. But I don't know. Maybe they are. Or like I said before, maybe it's the pulley. If you guys got any ideas, let me know. I'm definitely open for suggestions. All right. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.